All right, here we go. Carver and Cuthbert Go Sports Radio. Here with you at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach, on the island, on a Thursday. In my opinion, one of the better sports days of the year is this Thursday. Yes, next Thursday as well with the NCAA tournament. But you have, legitimately, there's like 60 or 70 awesome college basketball games today, all across major conferences. We have the Players Championship. It is just a really great day. I always love this Thursday on the calendar. And we are here down at Borrelli's getting ready for St. John's and Providence, tipping off at noon at the Garden. Watch party here at Borrelli's. Everyone's going to be rocking, sound on, etc., etc. And we'll get into that and a bunch of the other games. United States get their bacon saved by Italy last night in the WBC. You have that to discuss. There's a lot of hockey tonight as well. So very, very busy. Mike Carver along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Good afternoon, Michael. Happy Thursday and happy championship week. And it is a great week for sports and a great day for sports. And the fact that I get to share this day with you is wonderful.
It is awesome. I used to, now back in the day, this is back in the day, we always loved story time here on Go Sports Radio. Before, kids and all those other things, more responsibilities, this was always a day I'd be at the Big East Tournament all day, usually at the Garden, definitely in the afternoon session, and maybe even beyond that.
Little ton of tracks down a Penn.
A little track, 10:30 a.m. hit at tracks before you go upstairs for the noon game. There was just nothing like it. And now, but just as good a spot being here at Borrelli's here today for us. But I do miss those days sometimes.
You get a good pint of Guinness there at tracks too.
Get a good pint of Guinness, but I bet you it's not $5 on St. Patrick's Day.
No, not like it's going to be here.
like it is here at Borrelli's. So you could get, and because it poured, whenever it pours fast is when it's the best.
Yep.
That's what my grandfather used to always tell me. If it pours good, then it's a good tasting. It's a good pint again. It's a good pint.
Keep the lines flowing.
That you can have here. But let's get into it here because we are, of course, and by the way, I got a little cold today. I know I always like to bellyache about the weather.
And a little windy.
As well.
We're getting old, Mike.
Nobody
things that we complain about now.
No, there's a lot of things that we can complain about at this point. I got to tell you, this is obviously St. John's here. They're the 1 seed in the Big East as we get going today. But, with all the teams of this, all the kind of scrub teams in the Big East that they could have played today, I got a feeling this isn't the one that they wanted to see. I would have rather played Butler, Marquette, Xavier, any of this. No, Providence and St. John's have had a little bit of back and forth this year. Providence beat them earlier this season, back in early January at the Garden. There was a lot of animosity in the rematch up at the Dunk. I know it's called something else now. It'll always be the Dunk to me in Providence, the Dunkin' Donuts Center. They have to put some bank's name on a building now, whatever. But still, this being a 1, you'd think you'd get a nice soft game in the first game. But actually, this is probably the worst opponent that St. John's could have had if being the 1 seed on a Thursday. I think Providence will give them a little push today. Now, the only thing, they're in the trickiest spot playing in the 4:00 game on Wednesday and then having to come back less than 24 hours later and play the noon game. That's always tough on any team.
Yeah.
But I just think the history between these two teams, this probably was the toughest draw that they could have gotten today.
Yeah. At the same time, too, though, maybe as St. John's, you want maybe a tougher opponent, so you're not taking it lightly. So you go get them and get that rhythm going, get the legs going, and get fired up. And against an opponent, too, that you have a little bit of a history with, sometimes maybe that is the better way to go. And if they come out on top of it today, which I'm confident they will, it's just another step to move forward. So I'm sometimes you just want that better team to go out in the beginning here. And just get
it gets, and look, it's not, and they are an 11.5 point favorite today. Look, this is, you should absolutely take care of business in this spot. I'm just saying, anyone else, there would have been.
I agree.
But you know what? It does, as you're just saying, maybe this does get you going a little bit earlier. There could have been a little sleepwalking early on.
I'm sure Patino's glad.
And now it's these guys, we've had problems with these guys. This gives you a little bit more focus maybe on this first game. As opposed to if it was, a Butler, and it was just all right, well, let's go.
When I used to play hockey, years ago, back in the day.
Back in the day. We love
on
back
my
in the day.
first shift, and this is back in the old roller hockey days, right before the inlines came out.
Yeah.
The old 4-wheel quads. But on my first shift, I always wanted to get checked or check somebody, get into it. Just get going, get the juices flowing,
right,
and get fired up and carry the rest of the way. So I look at it this game, against these guys the same way. And I'm sure, like I said, I was trying to mention before, I'm sure Patino wants it gives him a chance as a coach to say, wake up, guys. Let's go. Let's get going here. All right. Don't take these guys lightly, and let's get fired on all cylinders.
From that aspect, yes. I think that is a good way to look at it, is that it throws you right into the tournament immediately. Whereas there's a lot of other teams that, yes, easier opponents, but you maybe sleepwalk a little bit to start. I don't think with this team they'll be sleepwalking, because Providence is coming. They know that they beat St. John's this year. They've had some physical altercations with St. John's this year. There's been a little bit more. Oh, they would love nothing more.
The Johnnies.
Oh, especially with English probably going out. He's going to get chopped as the Providence head coach. Just keep him around another day. We'll see. Second game after them is Creighton and Seton Hall. That's the 2:30 or a little bit thereafter game at the Big East. Got to have Peacock, by the way, or come to Borrelli's to watch these early games at the Big East. I mean, honestly. The night session, Xavier and UConn will play at 7, followed by Georgetown and Villanova after Georgetown beat DePaul last night there. So you get those are your 4 games at the Big East today.
It's a good slate.
One of the best days ever. And look, you got a lot of big spreads. Seton Hall is only 3.5 over Creighton. I thought that line would be
where you diving into?
It'll be a bit bigger, I thought.
Where you diving in today?
Well, just sticking with the Big East, I actually, if I could play it, which I can't because you can't legally bet St. John's in the state of New York.
Get out!
I've
told
you
you learning
this.
Stuff here with you every day.
I've told you this stuff, but I think
that was maybe back in November.
I think I told you about the awards, maybe, or other things that you can't bet. No, you cannot bet New York colleges in New York State. So you cannot, and this is actually for next week when we get to the big tournament. Not gonna be able to bet on LIU. Not gonna be able to bet on Hofstra. Can't bet on St. John's. Can't bet on Siena.
What's the reasoning behind this?
Most states have this. Like in New Jersey, you can't bet on Rutgers and Seton Hall.
Is it to protect the team and the players?
That is what they say. Yeah. They think that it would be too much access for those players or people associated with the team to be able to bet on it. And listen, there's always the other element, which can happen anywhere, of shady things that can go on. But they just that's been almost every state has that. There are a few that don't, but New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, they all have. You can't bet on colleges that are in any sport, football, basketball, anything. You can't bet on those teams. So you can't bet St. John's. And thankfully they amended it a little bit, because when New York first got it, they actually weren't going to let you bet on any college event that was happening in the state. So like you wouldn't have been able to bet on any of the Big East tournament games because they were all taking place in New York. They amended it to just schools based in New York, Syracuse, St. John, Syracuse, all that.
Now I know.
So you can't bet on Buffalo Bulls. You can't bet on the Bulls of Buffalo today in the MAC tournament either. So yeah, there you go. A little more info.
How are the Bulls this year?
They're all right. They got a tough game in the MAC today. A little bit of a tough game. Speaking of the MAC, I'll go there as well.
Who is in the MAC?
And Buffalo does play Akron today, and they're going to get smashed because Akron's very good. Miami of Ohio, 31-0, are underway. The early morning, 11 a.m. East tip in Cleveland at the MAC tournament, as they're taking on UMass 8-8 about 5 minutes into the game. So we'll see if they can get out of this thing undefeated. They will be in even if they lose, in my opinion. But I would love to see them play Akron in this title game. And Akron's favored to win this tournament, Paulie.
Hey, when we left here yesterday, Arizona had 10 points.
They lost by 50.
Did they get any more than 10 points?
I think they scored 41. I think they lost 94-41 or something like that.
Smoke job.
They got absolutely smashed in that game. Our other early games here that we'll have noon: NC State and Virginia in the ACC, first game of the day. Iowa, Ohio State, first game of the day in Chicago at the Big Ten. Iowa State, who you mentioned, who smashed Arizona State yesterday. Well, today they play Texas Tech, and they are a favorite. Kentucky, Missouri, first game of the day in the SEC. So, as I said, this is
it's a great day
big
for
day.
hoops.
Big day of hoops that we got going on, and a lot of games I'm interested. I love this Louisville-Miami game at 2:30. Number 2 Arizona's playing UCF at 3:00. Auburn needs a win badly over Tennessee today because people think that they can make the tournament. My Colorado State 25-1 to win the Mountain West.
Colorado State?
Well, I told you yesterday I played Colorado State 25-1 to win the Mountain West tournament, and they had a nail biter with Fresno State last night, but they did win. So they have moved on to today, where they will play San Diego State later in Vegas. For that, Rutgers is playing UCLA tonight. So we have a lot of BYU Houston, some really great games here on a Thursday to get us going with championship week, tons of action in college hoops. Next thing that's going on right now, Paulie, is the Players Championship down at TPC Sawgrass, where, as you know, I'm very involved. Tommy Fleetwood, let's go, Paulie.
Is it underway?
It's underway.
All right.
It's 3 under through 8. And we may or may not have Tommy Fleetwood for first round leader today. So we are absolutely hoping that we can get this thing moving for us this afternoon. That would be outstanding. We love Tommy, and he's off to a good start. But other guys are too. Graysterman got out to 5 under. He's now 3. Castile got out to 4 under. He's now at 3. Tony Finau, Maverick McNeely, Justin Thomas, actually, the 2 under. Ludwig Aubert and Victor Hovland, all at 2 under, as it's a little windy down there at TPC Sawgrass today.
How did Golf Wednesday go last night?
Pretty good. Good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. You know, we got Fleetwood for first round leader, so hopefully we can get him moving a little bit more here. This is a good start that we're off to. So we have that. Was a big story this morning. Colin Morikawa, one of the favorites of this tournament, went out on the first hole, and after the first hole, grabbed his back.
Oh, no.
Ouch.
Oh, no.
And a lot of people bet on Colin Morikawa this week at the Players Championship, and he is done. Withdrew.
Really?
Finished 1 hole, and he went home. And just to put this in perspective, like, I'm in a big one-and-done pool. So in a one-and-done pool, you pick one golfer. You can only pick them once throughout the year. And, like, whatever money they make, that's, like, your points. And you add points each week. So this is a big Players. You get a lot of – this is the biggest money tournament, so the most money on the table. 25% of the pool, there's about 4,500 people in it. So about 1,000, but 25% of the pool took Colin Morikawa. And you know how much money they're going to get now this week? Donut, bagel, 0. They're out. Which is great for me because I didn't have Morikawa this week. But it does suck. And there's nothing worse when you bet a golfer. And the first hole, especially a huge tournament like this, and the first hole, the guy, he's grabbing his back. He's got the guy out there rubbing his back, working on it, and then he tapped out. They got the cart, they picked him up, and they brought him back to the clubhouse. Nothing worse. That happened to me with Matsuyama a couple of years ago. He did that to me too.
Brutal.
Nothing is worse than that. But it looks like a beautiful day. It might rain a little bit later, little thunderstorms down at Sawgrass.
And what's the next tournament after this one this weekend?
Next week is the Valspar, which is outside of Tampa there. So the Valspar, because this is the 4 weeks in a row they do the Florida swing. So they were at they were the Cognizant, which was way down in Palm Beach down there all the way at the bottom. Then they went to Orlando, Bay Hill. TPC Sawgrass is kind of south of Jacksonville. And then just outside of Tampa is where the Valspar is. So they do 4 weeks in a row in Florida. It's like the Florida swing.
It's a nice spot.
And then they go to Texas for a couple weeks before the Masters. So
it's getting here.
That's kind of, it's hey, Magnolia Lane is right around the corner. The drive down.
Always
get us going.
Weekend.
All right, now let's get to the WBC because we're going here today until St. John's, which tips off at 12. So we are a little bit of an earlier start for us. I didn't even mention that because I'm just we just get right into it and going. We are a little bit of an earlier start here today at Borrelli's, getting ready for St. John's. Did you watch Italy and Mexico last night?
I had other work.
You had other
I had other work.
You had prior engagements. But you were watching on your phone in between breaks of those prior engagements, seeing what was going on.
So all of a sudden I'm sitting there going, oh, that's right. The game was on during my other work commitment.
Correct.
And then I sat down, flipped the phone out, and I braced myself.
Yeah.
And
see what was going to happen.
And then I saw the score, 9-1. Is that the final?
Yeah.
So it was 9-1. And then, of course, because of all the scenarios, I'm sitting here. I think they get in on that one.
Yeah, anybody scored more
so
than
then
5
I had to
was
do
good.
that,
Was
and
good
then I just I went to the X.
Italy win was an
and then
automatic.
it was everywhere. USA is in. USA.
Italy
is in.
win was an automatic. Only Mexico win with less than 5 runs would it have been USA being out.
So we got a clean slate for Coach
clean
Mark
slate.
Now. Coach Mark now.
Clean slate.
Back
And
on his good
the
side.
funny part is the way it worked out for them, they because they actually finished second in the group because Italy went 4-0 and swept the group. But because Canada beat Puerto Rico and and by the way, Canada and Puerto Rico to advance out of Group A at plus 260. Good winner for me. We had both of those two teams come through. But Canada ends up winning that group, and Puerto Rico ends up finishing second, which means now U.S. play Canada. You thought we might get USA-Canada because of USA being 1 and Canada being 2, but it ends up being flipped in this, and now Puerto Rico's on the other side of the bracket. So the U.S. will now play, after getting a new lease on life, thanks to Italy and Vinny Pasquantino hitting 3 homers for Italy.
What a game.
In that first 3-homer game in World Baseball Classic history.
You see his comments there after there?
He's,
You're welcome, USA.
You're welcome.
And then he went on saying, I know you guys are hanging out in the hotel room. This one's for you or something.
Yeah. Well, because he knows most of the guys.
Well, I mean what's funny is somebody had posted all the Italian guys, the Italian American guys where they were born.
Right.
And it was all Michigan, Illinois.
Yeah, they're USA guys too.
Guys.
But like Pasquantino's teammates with Bobby Witt Jr., of course. They're all, they're sure there's text going back and forth. Because there's a bunch of Royals on the Italy team, Pasquantino, Jack Caglione. There's a bunch of a bunch of guys there. The United States will now play tomorrow night against Canada.
How do you think they'll fare? And are the Canadian fans bracing themselves for another possible massive defeat?
Look at this, another USA versus Canada on a big event.
Nice little
now,
rivalry.
I've seen some people say, can now Canada do to the U.S. what U.S. did to Canada in the gold medal game and take their sport, with the title from their
if you
sport
flip it around, whose sport is whose sport, they're going to be gunning for them, buddy.
They're a big
I
dog.
think that's a really good game tomorrow night.
Big dog.
But I also think our guys are just going to come out and that's a huge sigh of relief they got going. It was really embarrassing yesterday, man.
So, and Logan Webb's going to pitch because remember they had all that lined up. So you have Webb in this game. If they win, which they should, and they play the DR most likely in the semis. Who once again last night? Vladdy and Tatis and Marte. I mean, just bomb it, and then Soto hit another homer. Like it's just
theater,
pulverized Venezuela, who was trying to hang in, and Venezuela was punching back but the DR just overwhelmed them with their power. Skeens would pitch the DR game in the semis if they can win, but Logan Webb's got to get them through.
So is that how it lines up? Because I haven't looked at it yet. So if U.S. and the Dominican Republic advance, they will play each other to go to the final?
Yes, they cannot play in the final. They would play in the semis. So this is how it's going to work. First game is tomorrow at 6:30 in Miami, Korea and the DR. So the DR is going to play Korea.
Crush them.
They probably will, but they're going to be Korea's scrappy team. They're going to crush.
It's going to be crush. They're going to run rule.
And then
they still have
at 8:00 tomorrow night. I don't know if they do run rules for this knockout rounds.
Yeah. That's why I said if they do it. Yeah.
USA and Canada will play at 8:00 tomorrow night. The winner of those two games will play in the semi on Sunday. So Friday night, those 4 teams play. The winners play Sunday night in Miami. Now, that for me is another advantage DR.
Absolutely.
Because they've been playing all their games in Miami. They've had such support there. I mean, the places U.S. has played every game in that boring Houston place where it's been a morgue basically every single night. And they're going to show up. DR's used to the atmosphere in Miami. USA going to show up, have to play DR, but with Skeens on Sunday night. Now, Sunday night, 8:00, Paulie, DR and the USA. Now, that gets me in. I'll be in on that Sunday night. You got to get through Canada first. Put the cart before they lost to Italy. You never know. Canada's got some guys.
I agree. But I have to believe that the guys, that whole 24 hours, how embarrassing it was, the rumor that they were all partying out the night before, they're all getting a second chance here that they, and because I think the backlash, I don't know if I didn't expect the backlash from media and fans about how embarrassing it was.
Yeah.
And they got raked across, the coals here
as they should.
As they should have, but it was like at a level which I didn't think it was going to get to. So I have to believe all of those guys who talked about
Judge making the last out. Too. That kind of, I heard all about that yesterday.
But these guys were like so proud to wear this jersey and this and play for this team and everything like that. You know, you got a second chance now. You got to come out and they got to crush and they got to they have to have a statement game against Canada and not to look advanced to Dominican Republic. But man, I'm scared to death.
They honestly
of the
they
Dominican
need
Republic,
to focus
man.
on this. Now, the United States is minus 880 favorite. They are a monster favorite against Canada tomorrow night. Monster. And as you thought, Dominican Republic also minus 900 against Korea. So the games tomorrow have the two enormous favorites, USA and Dominican Republic, who would then, if they win, play Sunday night in the semis. Now, the other side might be a little bit more wide open, which is weird. I'm kind of wishing that USA and DR were on opposite sides and they could play in the final. But
yeah, I know.
This is just kind of how it worked out. Quarterfinal 3. So Saturday. These are both games on Saturday, 3:00 in Houston. Puerto Rico and Italy play on Saturday in Houston. Saturday night in Miami, Venezuela against Japan. Japan's been very good in this tournament. They've won it 3 of the 5 times. Now they come over the long trip from Tokyo. They got to go play in Miami against Venezuela, who just like the DR has got major fan support there.
I think Venezuela is actually the first good team that Japan's playing.
You can make that argument. Let me ask you first. Italy beat Puerto Rico? Does the ride continue?
Yeah, I am feeling it just because I'm absolutely impressed the way that team played the last 2 games, and to come back to back against Mexico, which is not a pushover squad, and put up a 9 spot. Now again,
it's basically a pick 'em. It's basically a pick 'em. Puerto Rico's only minus 118. They're a very slight favorite. Italy's minus 102. So it's close. The books think it's close.
Yeah, but it's funny. I mean, it's like those are 2 American teams playing each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you look at it that way.
Well, look, the Puerto Rico team has got, they've got some heavy hitters on that team as well. They're missing some guys, which would make them even better, of course. But I'm hard to get in front of it. I think this is like the good thing for it. Italy can win another game here. I feel like with the way they've been swinging.
I do like the scenario though of Venezuela and Puerto Rico advancing to play to get into the final.
Right.
And I also do like, of course, I want the U.S. boys to win, no doubt about it.
Japan is minus 162 favorite over Venezuela in that game.
Okay. But
Venezuela's got some, by the way, Venezuela lineup is legit. I mean, they got Acuna. They got a legit lineup. Yeah. Abreu from the Red Sox is on that. They got some bats. That's not easy for Japan. I know Japan, and they got Ohtani, and they got some other good bats too.
These 3 Latin American teams are they're jacked. They're pumped.
That's a good game Saturday night at 9:00. That Venezuela Japan. Yeah. See, now I'm into this. This I can get into.
And I'm telling you right now,
I didn't like the wiffle ball with the other stuff. I didn't like all this. I'm glad that we're done with all this. Brazil, Great Britain, Israel, Netherlands, and God bless them. They all played well. They did their best. This is what this is about. Having these, you got the best teams. You got a surprise in Italy. You got this is fun now when you get to this. So the winner of those 2 games would play Monday night in the other semi. So Puerto Rico, Italy versus Venezuela, Japan. That's how that all kind of maps out. And then the final is Tuesday night, St. Patty's night in Miami. Will they be wearing green down in South Beach for potentially U.S. or DR? But not notice I'm just completely dismissing Canada and Korea out of that side of the bracket.
There'll be a few impaired people watching that game on Tuesday.
How about the Italians in the final on St. Patty's night?
Do we do a show here on top of St. Patty's Day if Italy gets into the final?
Italy.
At Borrelli's?
Italy.
Italian restaurant here?
Yeah. Bottle of red.
I don't see it happening.
I don't either.
I don't see it happening.
I think the winner of the Venezuela Japan.
And I gotta tell you, man, Dominican scares me, man.
That money will say that's the final Sunday night if it's USA.
Right now, I'm seeing a Venezuela Dominican Republic Final.
Rematch, huh, of last night? Rematch, Venezuela DR.
Yeah. That's
what
I
has they
see.
got for Venezuela to win this thing right now?
Hey, look, man, I just
You're the fourth
I think
choice.
all
They're
of us,
850.
all of us can honestly sit back and see the effort that the guys put up against Italy, right? The U.S. guys.
Right.
And then the teams that they played before that game, bit of a cakewalk, right?
Yeah.
So now they've got a little fire. They've got to, now DeRosa knows they have to win this game.
Geez, Coach Mark. He's got to get himself.
Hey, DeRosa, you definitely have to win.
Coach Mark.
And
Get him in there.
hopefully, come on. Harper, Schwarber, let's go. And Judge and the rest of this crew, let's get it going. Show everybody what you got here. And it's an all-star lineup. It's just a matter, I think, like I said, I think the game against Italy was just really just an embarrassing moment that I hope these guys can put behind. And then, no disrespect to Canada. Hopefully take care of business and we get that theater on Sunday night down in Florida.
I will, in terms of who you got for this, man, this thing will be over when we come back on Wednesday. We'll have a winner next time we get together here at Borrelli's.
Yes.
For the who you got, I am going to say in the championship game on Tuesday night, it will be Japan against the DR.
It's a good call.
I think it's Japan against the DR. And for all you guys about there, of course I want to see the United States beat the DR. Well, first of all, beat Canada.
Yes.
And then beat the DR on Sunday night. I think that's going to be a very difficult spot for them Sunday night, especially when you consider they haven't played a game in Miami. And listen, all these guys are major leaguers. They've played thousands of games in Miami. But do you want to know when they usually play games in Miami? When there's 50 people in the stands and it's empty. DR has been playing all their games in Miami. It's been full to the brim with their fans. It's been
electric, man.
Crazy.
Phenomenal.
And they're going to walk in there. And listen, it is what it is. I'm just going to say it like it is. It's like a road game for the U.S.
The other thing, too, is, DR has had to beat good teams.
Venezuela, USA hasn't played a team as good as Venezuela. They haven't. Now, some would say that's not fair. Italy went 4-0 in the group stage. It's not very fair. But we think that the United States botched that game. We don't think that they went into that game with the right mindset.
Wake up, boys. Make a statement against Canada.
I think we're being a little unfair to Canada tomorrow night. They're a monster favorite. They're a monster favorite.
America's pastime.
But I think we're being a little unfair to Canada. They have some good bats, just like Italy does.
Don't come home if you lose to Canada. Don't come home.
Do you think that they said that in Canada to the hockey players after the gold medal game? Don't come home.
Absolutely.
Don't come home if you don't win this game.
Go straight back to your baseball team.
I got reminded of the goal. I got reminded of the gold medal game when I was driving here today. I was driving down, Long Beach while I was coming this way, and then the big McAvoy plowing side when you drive by it. You go, this is the pride of Long Beach.
The goal he scored the other night after getting face smashed in again.
He's a great player. He's the pride of Long Beach.
Boston. I didn't
Mack.
see the Bruins.
The Bruins, and I'll save this for the hockey because I got a lot of hockey night.
Good.
The Bruins are going for 14 in a row at home tonight.
What the hell?
They have been great up there in Boston. Well, it's almost a great time for them to drink on Tuesday. It's Patty's. Let's go. Let's get it going. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio, here from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island on a Thursday, a big Thursday. St. John's is playing at noon against Providence. Game will be on here with the sound. Tons of specials, as always. In fact, Paulie is going to lay out everything that is going on at Borrelli's, including a big St. Patty's Day, a big Polar Bear Plunge Sunday, everything that's going on. Hit the music.
Once again, Carver and Cuthbert broadcasting every Wednesday and Thursday live from Borrelli's Taproom right here at 912 West Beach Street in Long Beach, on Long Island in the great state of New York in the U.S. of A. Hey, it's Thursday, so that means it's carnivore night here at Borrelli's, and that means for $42.99, you get a choice of veal, pork, or steak, soup or salad, dessert, and bottomless beers and bottomless wine. I just You know, I might
Carnivore!
I think I'm coming here for dinner tonight. I'm hungry right now, and that sounds pretty good to me. All right, it's championship week. We're taking care of business here at Borrelli's. All the games will be on all the time. Johnny's come down today, 12 noon. And as Johnny's advance, sound will be on all the TVs down here. 2-for-1 pizzas, dollar wings, all the drink specials all week long here for the Johnnies. Okay, this Sunday, as Mike just mentioned, it's the polar bear plunge here. The annual tradition down here in Long Beach. Come down here. Starts at 1 p.m. Ryan Scarano is going to be providing the live music with Jim Loeffler. And there's, again, 2-for-1 pizzas, lots of drink specials, buckets of everything. Just come on down. It's going to be a blast here on Sunday. And, yeah, that's also $1 wings and 2-for-1 pizzas here for the plunge. Comedy series returns here on Tuesday, March 31st. Ben Banker was here. Ben Bankus was in here the last 2 nights, sold out, insane shows. Are You Garbage podcast returns here on Tuesday, March 31st. Get tickets for that at Borrelli'sTaproom.com or go to Eventbrite.com and search Borrelli's Comedy. Music theme nights here at Borrelli's returns on Wednesday, March 18th. Songs from an Italian restaurant featuring the greatest hits of Billy Joel, a $21 pasta dinner special with half-price bottles of wine. So come on down for that if you like Billy Joel and great Italian food and music. It's all good stuff. Live music returns this weekend at Borrelli's. On Friday, we have Ken Bailing at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. We have Alex Kincannon. I'm trying to get Alex's name. All right, but they'll be here this weekend. And then Saturday, Evan Kariga is going to be here with Dennis Kelly. And Evan Kariga and Dennis Kelly are also going to be here on St. Patrick's Day, which unbelievably is next Tuesday. Borrelli's will be open at 12 p.m. You got $10 Jameson drinks and $5 pints of Guinness. And that, again, starts at noon with Evan Kariga and Dennis Kelly here providing the live music all afternoon. And we just told you guys yesterday, come in on Tuesday, mention the Carver and Cuthbert podcast. You get a free Miller Lite draft to start, and then dive into the $5 pints of Guinness. There you go, Mike. It's all happening here at Borrelli's.
There is nothing like $5 pints of Guinness on St. Patty's Day. You cannot get that anywhere else. I challenge you to find that anywhere, $5 pints of Guinness. And I do like the strategy of, yes, asking for the free Miller Lite, mentioning the show, and then rolling right into the $5 pints of Guinness right after it. So it's kind of like you just get yourself started a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, Borrelli's just brings it, It's just, you can't go wrong. And just a reminder, too, for the World Baseball Classic games, too, all weekend long as well as far as the United States advance and all the games. It's just, you get $35 buckets of High Noons, 35 buckets of Surfside Rockets, Spiked 8 buckets, $20 Miller Lite buckets, $25 Michelob Ultra buckets, and $6 barrier drafts right here at Borrelli's. I mean, there's always a deal going on here, Mike.
There is always a deal going on here. It is absolutely outstanding being down at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the...
Have a drink with Tommy. Have multiple drinks with Tommy behind the bar. Let's go.
I'm gonna have one with him when I'm done. I'm gonna stay for the first half of St. John's.
I'm hungry too. I'm gonna do the same.
Gonna order pizza. I'm gonna watch the first half before we get out of here. So I am going to be partaking in that today. All right. You mentioned the hockey. There's a ton of hockey tonight. I think it's...
Is it too much hockey?
No. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 games in the NHL tonight. But believe it or not, no Islanders. I mean, just where are the Isles tonight? The Isles actually are not playing again until tomorrow night where they host the Kings out at the horse track as they come home for the first time in a while since they were out in Cali. Except the loss to the Kings out in Cali last week. But tonight, strangers in the Igloo, the Great White North, Winnipeg against the Jets. Red hot Rangers, you might as well just call them that.
Let's call it. It's the truth.
Another 2 goals for Lafreniere tonight.
Laffy's Rangers. Yeah. Hey, that line's on,
give him the C.
On fire for Alt. Laffy and Mika.
Give him the C, right?
Give him the C. Give Laffy the C.
Might as well go and do that.
Tell JT to just take the rest of the season off and maybe, I don't know. Maybe they change things next year. Maybe JT doesn't want the C anymore.
It's very possible. Couple of streaks around the league tonight. The Bruins are going for 14 in a row at home.
What is going on up there?
As they have the Sharks in town.
Trying
Now
to steal headlines
And
from
the
Sabres.
Bruins are, again, they win every game at home, but they just never win on the road. They're 25-8-1 at home this year. They've been excellent in Boston. Problem is they're 11-14-5 on the road. And they are currently in the second wild card spot with 78 points right there. So they have a long streak as they get ready to take on the Sharks. Also tonight, in terms of long streaks, are going for 9 in a row overall. They have a 4-point lead in the Atlantic now, and they host the Capitals, who lost to the Flyers last night. And they're playing the second night of a back-to-back.
Caps have no chance. Now, this is the second 9-10, which will be 10-game win streak. Is that what we're looking at here?
I believe they already have a double-digit this year, right? They have a double-digit win streak. This would be, if they can get 2 more, would be their second double-digit win streak of the season. And they play and they play the Leafs Saturday night. Which would be speaking of the Leafs, they've lost 9 in a row as they play the Ducks tonight in Toronto.
If I had a violin, baby. If I had a violin.
So look at these streaks. I mean, 14, 8, 9, just a lot of teams playing some really good or bad.
Enjoyment out of Leaf suffering. I really do.
Tampa's been scuffling here, as we know. And
the mighty Tampa Bay Lightning.
They have Detroit in
you know
in
what?
town tonight.
Because they ran into the Buffalo Sabres, and they're never going to be the same.
They even lost to Columbus the other night.
They're never going to be the same.
Now Columbus is in Miami against the Panthers, who are
they're all
finished.
traumatized by what happened on Sunday night. Traumatized by the Buffalo Sabres. That's what the Sabres are doing. They're going out and they're just causing all kinds of trouble and just changing lives. And
Panthers are 11 points out with 18 games to play.
I'm really surprised you continue to bring up the Panthers.
I just thought maybe I was
just done
saying I'm right. That's all. That's all. Just that they were finished. Now, good game tonight in Dallas. Are the Oilers back? Now, let me ask you. On this road trip, they won in Vegas on Sunday night.
Very good.
They won in Colorado on Tuesday night.
Even better.
Did they finish the hat trick in Dallas tonight? 3 straight games on the road against 3 of the best. I know Vegas. I wouldn't put Vegas with Dallas, Colorado, and Minnesota right now, but they're right on that next tier. 3 straight wins on the road against 3 of the best in the West. Can Edmonton pull that off tonight, Paulie?
I think so.
I say no.
Really?
Stars tonight. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. And Stars have won 12 of their last 13. The only team they've lost to is Colorado in that 13-game stretch. So, and they've blasted Edmonton both times they played them this year.
I'm going to go with the Oil tonight. I think they got something going here. I mean, after Draisaitl talked about 2 weeks ago, saying they can't keep having to put up 5-6 goals every night, and they're finding a way, man. They're tightening things up a little bit, right? I mean, I don't think the games are out of control the last 2
Well, yeah, they've beaten Vegas and Colorado, no matter how you get it done. They are 3 points back of Anaheim for first in the Pacific.
The Oil.
The Oil are 3 points back. And Vegas is now, they're tied with Vegas. They're both 3 points back right now in the show of the division. Utah has the first wild card spot in the West right now. They are playing
too, right?
They are playing Chicago tonight. They have lost to Chicago twice in the last week and a half. Once at home, once in Chicago the other night. Then they lost in Minnesota the night after that. They return home to the mountains, and they see the Blackhawks again. Can they finally beat this team? I mean, the Blackhawks suck. I mean, Utah got to keep losing. They're in a playoff spot right now. Keep losing to Chicago.
I can't figure that out. I have no explanation for that. And why certain teams can't get it together against.
You gotta be kidding me. Must be joking.
And where's Utah in the division? Where
they're at the first wild card spot right now. Their first wild card spot.
How many points cushion? Who are they ahead of?
They don't have much. They actually have a little bit. They are 6 points up on Seattle, who's in the second wild card spot, and LA is tied with Seattle, so they have 6 points basically of being out of a playoff, and they lose some of these games. I mean, it's like.
I'm not aware of Utah's injury situation. I don't know if they're missing any key guys or whatever.
Look, you can't lose to the Blackhawks at home.
Well, I mean, you're looking at 2 young teams playing each other here, and if Bedard has a night, that's usually the factor, right?
Come on, that's just
you're a little disappointed in the Mammoth.
Yeah, Might have bet him last week against Chicago.
Yeah, horns down,
So
right?
that's-
What's their
that's-
hashtag? Horns up. Yeah, so you're horns down for the Mammoth right now.
Usually the East teams by now have finished all their trips out to the West. Not the case here for the Penguins. They go to Vegas tonight to see the Knights, and then they're in Utah and Colorado this weekend.
Sit back. And Malkin's out on a 5-game suspension, correct?
I believe so. We'd have to.
Tough spot for the Pens right now.
Yeah. No, Sid ain't coming back for a while. He was minimum 4 weeks out of the Olympics for them. Colorado's in Seattle tonight, 10 o'clock as well. It's the Kraken. I told you they're in that second spot. They're tied with the Kings, but they have the tiebreaker right now. They're in the.
Got an angry Colorado team coming in right
after
now.
losing Edmonton.
Yeah.
So you get that. So like I said, 14 games tonight. I mean, there is just so much action.
I heard. Was it last night, or you got to have a lot of games tonight? Isn't there a lot of games either tomorrow, or there was a lot of game last night? What's the deal here?
No, well, last night there was no games. There was 2. And tomorrow night there's only 2. So tonight they give you 14. It's like, where's the balance? Can we balance the schedule out a little bit?
I saw some people kind of whining.
Can we balance? Now Saturday there's a billion. Usually on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday there's a decent amount of games, but we need to balance the schedule a little bit here for us. I mean, so the Islanders are playing back-to-back Friday and Saturday at home. So LA Friday night, Calgary on Saturday. 2 games for the Isles against Western Conference teams this weekend. They got to take care of business there. Minimum, I would like 3 points out of those 4. I want at least 3 out of 4 points.
So LA and who? I'm sorry?
Calgary. Who the Rangers just beat the snot out of the other night at the Garden. So Calgary played the Rangers. They play the Devils tonight. They play the Islanders on Saturday. The full tri-state area trip for Calgary here this week.
Man,
at least they didn't get the snow part of the schedule. They didn't get the snow was here. Came when it's nice.
Yeah, I'd have to say Coach Patrick Roy will have these guys ready. And I'm sure the barn will be rocking here. A little fun coming out of the overtime win and the new guy in town. How's what's the other guy they got in the trade deadline there? Before the trade deadline?
Palat?
Yeah, how's he doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, he's not.
I mean, some will
not
probably,
moving you.
Some will probably. I mean, I know he's there for the playoffs. That's what he's there for,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned. Some people will probably bellyache about him, but I mean, I think he scored a goal his first game after the trade. I
haven't heard much about him
since, but he's not there for that. He's a good penalty killer. He's good.
And what'd you think of Shen here his first couple games?
I think he's playing well. I like. Did you see what he? I think he said. Said something to the Shark bench the other night when about Schaefer.
I will end you all or something like that.
So I like that first game with right in, and he's.
I didn't know Shen was that type of a player, like who.
Oh yeah,
is ready to take on 22 guys on another team.
He's that guy,
and that's a good guy for the Islanders to have. Who's a guy that the Islanders have had maybe similar to a Braden Shen in the past that you can think of, similar qualities?
Older player, not known as much for scoring, but can score if they need to.
Good presence. Leader. Obviously, he's a former captain.
They only had him for like 3 months, and he didn't want to be here. Ryan Smith, maybe I would think when they traded for him.
Smith days.
Remember that? No, that was like they traded for him. He was all upset.
We should do a show just on the Ryan Smith days.
I think he's going to do a little bit better job than.
Oh boy,
happened there. Yeah, look, I'm sure if I spent some time, I could come up with something a little bit better than that. But I'm like thinking of that trade, a deadline deal. How opposite is this guy actually seemingly wants to be here, whereas Ryan Smith didn't.
No trade clause and had a special meeting with
Darsh and certainly did.
Wow.
Oh, look at Tommy, lad. 4 under through 10 at the Players. Let's go.
There you go.
Fleetwood on a heater. Eagle birdie as he goes to the 11th. Can we get a first-round lead from Tommy Fleetwood today? Please. How great would that be? I know you got a lot of basketball in here today. We have to get the Golf Channel up at 12 o'clock, too. Oh, boy.
Good stuff.
I'm excited. Jake Afternoon Nap 1 under through 8. A couple bucks on him, too. Hopefully he can start to get some things rolling for us. Elsewhere. Can you yesterday we talked about the Maxx Crosby thing with the trade going back with the Ravens and all
Heard
that.
He's come out and said a few
And then
things.
he has. He said, "I'm a Raider." Okay, you weren't yesterday. He's a Raider. So and then listen, good. You know what? Maxx has dealt with a lot of really bad Raider teams, and they trade him over the weekend, and then they make all these moves Monday and Tuesday. I still don't know really how they're fitting all this stuff in, but he probably looked at it as, man, this was like, he might be excited to go and play with this team. Now they could still turn around and trade him tomorrow. Who knows? But the most ridiculous thing that I saw yesterday, and we just talked about how it was seemed a little shady from the Ravens side of things, and people around the league thought it was a little shady. But for them to try and sell you that they were going to sign Hendrickson even after trading for Crosby, that was what the Baltimore people tried to sell yesterday. Meanwhile, they both make $1 bajillion. It's just impossible that they would have did it. But that was their way to try to stop all of the talk. Was all of that. Oh no, we're gonna sign both of them. No way they would have been able to sign that. That's just spin. It's just them trying to change the narrative. How would they have done that? They would have had to give Crosby new money. Crosby make $1 billion. You sign Hendrickson 4 years, $120 million, 2 passes. They were gonna put both of them on the line. Get lost. This is never their plan. They got their hand caught in the cookie jar. They backed out on that deal.
Oh man,
I don't want to hear.
I gotta get you a T-shirt that just says "Get Lost" on the back.
Get lost.
That's awesome.
It's
Get lost.
And I know you'll be excited. You're a Giant guy, but I know you'll be excited that Pete Carroll endorsed Geno Smith going back to the Jets. He endorsed that move. He thinks it's going to be good for him. He thinks it's going to be good for the Jets. Thinks it's going to be good for everybody.
Coming from Pete Carroll, because he's carrying a lot of weight these days.
Says nothing that happened in Vegas last year was Geno's fault. None of it was Geno's fault. He might actually be right about that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Nobody could block. that could be part of the reason why. And the Bills did get involved, Paulie. They made a move.
Well, tell me what they got.
Pass rusher Bradley Chubb, 3-year deal.
How you feeling?
Worth
like
up to $52 million, $29 guaranteed. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's kind of the same thing they've been doing. Like getting a guy who's kind of a veteran pass rusher to put in there. And they tried it with Von Miller and they got unlucky. He got hurt and then he just couldn't play anymore. They did it with Joey Bosa last year, who I thought was pretty good at some points. And Chubb's a little bit younger, I think. I could be wrong on that. But Chubb's been in Miami the last couple of years. I'm fine with anything that potentially makes them better, Paul. So that's all good for me.
These few weeks since the Bills were eliminated from the playoffs and the coaching changes and this quiet, this seems to be a quiet here. I mean, I know it's the off season right now, but I get the sense that you're reserved going into next season.
I'm a little bit. I'm a wait and see. Wait and see. I'm not I like a couple of pieces that they've added, but I think that to get me really excited, I need something more. Like I'm not at that. I'm just at the.
But as is, aren't they still a top favorite to win the division?
They should be. Yeah, I mean they should. You would think, and they're going to be booked, especially in the gambling aspect in the sports books. They're still going to be booked as one of the 5 favorites to win the Super Bowl, just because they have, in some people's opinion, the best player, or one of the 2 or 3 best players in sports. I would whenever, as long as Patrick Mahomes is still playing, it's hard to say he's the best at anything. But as long as they have 17, they're going to be one of the 5-ish top favorites to win. And it's about look, there's a lot of unknowns. How different is the sensational rise with Brady as the head coach? There's some pieces that have moved in and out. Are they going to add something else besides DJ Moore? Is there a trade at the draft maybe for another wide receiver? Is there other things?
Have the OCs and the DCs changed? Yeah.
Yes. So when Brady, Brady is now the coach, and he was the OC the last few years. So his offense stays.
My bad there.
They got rid of everyone who was on the defensive side. They cleaned out.
Okay.
So all new defensive strategy, personnel, everything. So Jim Leonard comes in. He's going to be the defensive coordinator. and they'll kind of roll from there.
And when the Sabres win the Stanley Cup this year, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Bills.
There's going to be tons
extra
of
pressure on the Bills.
Tons of extra pressure.
Since with the Sabres are going to bring that first championship to Buffalo.
They are. They are going to do that.
The Bills have had more than enough chances.
That would be amazing if they somehow pulled that off. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio here at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island on a Thursday, a great Thursday. St. John's is coming up at noon against Providence at the Garden. Johnny's about 11.5-point favorite here as we're getting close to tip. Miami of Ohio up 2 at the half against UMass. 39-37.
Okay, good game there.
31-0. Miami of Ohio.
Good game. I like it.
Let's see if they can advance on and move it. Because listen, this is going to be. And I told you what they're going to do if they lose. They'll put them in Tuesday or Wednesday night in Dayton in that first 4. That'll be that'll be a big TV thing for them to get them in that. So, but I hope they win the whole thing, and they move on. Iowa State and Texas Tech also coming up at 12:30. Really good one here. You know, Texas Tech went to Iowa State a couple of weeks ago, Paulie, and beat them. That was on February 28th, so just a few weeks ago, 82-73. Little revenge spot here for Iowa State, and they're a favorite after playing yesterday. -6.5. I like the Cyclones today against Texas Tech. Another fun game. I'll give you other games a note for later. I kind of gave you everything that was going to go on at noon. Good Mountain West game between UNLV and Utah State coming up at 3 o'clock. What else do we got here tonight? Northwestern's won the last couple nights at the Big Ten. They play Purdue this evening. Purdue's -12.5. Florida State and Duke. You know, Duke comes into the ACC tournament with a couple injuries. They kind of have a 1 seed wrapped up a little bit. I kind of like Florida State getting 17.5 points tonight in Charlotte. And Florida State's played well here. They won yesterday. They had a good win over the weekend as well. I could get in on Florida State.
What's the most points that you've heard of?
Well, some of these games are kind of silly. You can get games in the high 20s. And but in terms of this, like a championship week, like I'll give you yesterday, I mean, Air Force was getting 21 from Nevada in the Mountain West game. And Air Force, and they lost by about 40. Wow. So it covered. Houston's laying 10.5 against BYU tonight. We mentioned UConn as a big number, 15.5 against Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss and Georgia, upset win for Ole Miss last night against Texas. They'll try to keep that rolling. Got a couple less. My Colorado State team is getting 5.5 against San Diego State. That's at 9 o'clock out in Vegas. Rutgers and UCLA. UCLA -11.5. Kansas tonight, Paulie, at the Big 12 against TCU.
How does
laying
Rutgers
5.5.
end up playing UCLA?
Well,
I don't get the geographic.
Well, let me. I got a minute here before we get out. So a few years ago, the Big 10 used to be 10 teams. Remember that?
Okay.
Now there's like 18.
All right. Oh, now it's 18. Okay.
So there's like 18 teams in the Big 10 now. It was at one time 10. And it used to be just, Michigan, Ohio State, middle of the country right there, Minnesota, all that. And now in their expansion process, they started when they put Rutgers and Maryland in, thinking they were getting the D.C. and the New York markets, even though nobody told them that nobody in New York cares about Rutgers. So they didn't kind of drop that memo on them when they did it. And then they started their Western expansion where they got USC and UCLA. So that's what destroyed the Pac-12. Okay. And then Oregon and Washington kind of hopped on board. They're like, please take us too. And they got on to have 4 West Coast teams. So now you got those 4 teams in the West. You got Penn State, Rutgers, Maryland on the Eastern Seaboard. And then you got all your traditional Big 10 teams kind of in the middle. They've added Nebraska along the way too, who used to be in the Big 12. They've now created, like, this is college athletics now, super conference. But now you get UCLA from the West Coast and Rutgers from the East Coast meeting in Chicago tonight in the Big 10 tournament, right in the middle. So they don't not as much travel.
Well, now I know.
Likes to bellyache at UCLA about how much travel
now I know.
That he has to do. Clemson, North Carolina in the ACC tonight is Town Villanova. We mentioned at the Garden. And late night, San Jose State, New Mexico, UC Davis, Fullerton. There's at least 80 games here today, Paul. At least.
Pretty good day if you're a basketball junkie.
Pretty good day for basketball junkie and the golf junkie.
Oh, yeah.
As we get through.
Well, I mean, this is just great for you yourself. And the golf season underway here, and good tournaments here, and obviously heading towards Augusta. And for me, I just always love this time of year because it just means that the spring is coming.
That is what it means.
Summer's right behind it.
One more time before we get out of here, and I'll give you one more roundup of everything that's going to happen this weekend, and we'll be back here on Wednesday, of course, next week. Why don't you let everybody know everything that's happening down here at Borrelli's over the next couple days and weeks, because it's very, very busy this next week. Go ahead.
All right, just real quick. Once again, a reminder, it is the Carver and Cuthbert Show, broadcasting live every Wednesday and Thursday here from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach, 912 West Beach Street. It's Thursday, so it's carnivore night. So come on down. You get a choice of pork, steak, or veal with a pasta or salad, super salad, pasta, multiple choices, and dessert, all for $42.99. And with that comes bottomless beers and bottomless wine. So come on down here, carnivore Thursday nights. Bring the chompers down and dig in. We've been talking about it all day and yesterday too. It's championship week. Come down for all the hoops, all the basketball games, all the St. John's games will be on all the TVs with the sound on starting today at 12 noon. 2-for-1 pizzas, dollar wings throughout the whole championship week. So come on down for that. This Sunday is the post Polar Bear Challenge after party here at Borrelli, starting at 1 p.m. with live music with Ryan Scarano and Jim Loeffler. Again, dollar wings, $2 pizzas, and all kinds of buckets. Beer specials coming down for that. It's a tradition down here in Long Beach. Live music returns here this Friday and Saturday. Friday, we got Ken Balin at 7 p.m. and at 10, we have Alex Kincannon.
Yes, you did
All right, I think I got it there. All right. Saturday, Evan Corrigan and Dennis Kelly going to be here as well, 7 p.m. Free admission for the live music all weekend here. And I know there's the Sunday Funday stuff going on here too as well. And I don't have my notes, and I apologize for that. But it's same thing. All kinds of great stuff going on.
Polar bear
here.
plunge.
That's right. That's right. And there is live music too for that as well. St. Pat's is going to be here on Tuesday, March 17th. Come down, open at 12 noon. $10 Jameson drinks and $5 pints of Guinness, which we've continued to remind you guys about. It's a great deal. Corned beef pizza. If you've never tried it, come down to Borrelli's on St. Patrick's Day. Are You Garbage Podcast returns Tuesday, March 31st, right here at Borrelli's. Go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com and or go to Eventbrite.com and search Borrelli's Comedy for tickets for that show. And then Billy Joel Night returns here, Songs from an Italian Restaurant, on Wednesday, March 18th. And come on down, $21 pasta special with half-price bottles of wine and the greatest hits of Billy Joel. Rock and roll, good times, comedy, sports, music, and polar bear plunges, and corned beef pizza, and $5 pints of Guinness right here at Borrelli's Taproom.
Yeah, we got about a minute or two. Time is going to start rocking the St. John's game up here. It's on Peacock today. So if you don't have Peacock, you have to come down here and see Tommy at Borrelli's and make sure you watch it here. Wall-to-wall college hoops over the next few days. Sunday is Selection Sunday. So when we come back on Wednesday, Paulie, we'll know the road to glory, the NCAA tournament bracket, everything that comes with it.
Champion too.
We will know the WBC and enjoy it. USA Canada Friday night. We'll play the winner of DR and Korea on Sunday night in the semis. You have Puerto Rico against Italy on Saturday, and Japan against Venezuela Saturday. The winners will play Monday night, and then the championship game will be Tuesday night, St. Patrick's night in Miami. Whoever comes out of that, I think DR versus Japan. That's my prediction, with DR winning.
I'm calling DR versus.
You're calling DR versus Venezuela. Yeah. Both of us not having U.S., but we hope U.S. do get there. Enjoy the Players' Championship this weekend as well.
Yes.
Hopefully one of the guys, several guys that I have wins. That's all that matters to me in the long run. So a great weekend of sports. Great day here at Borrelli's. Come on down, watch the Johnnies with the crew. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. At Borrelli's.